Hello, welcome to Healing with MM podcast. I am Marissa McDevitt, your host, mindset coach, mentor, and founder of MM Healing Center. Are you tired of all the BS? So was I. This podcast is my raw, unfiltered take on life, sharing my personal experiences, lessons, and healing practices that help me break free from the cycles that no longer serve me. I am just an average woman who decided to stop settling and start speaking up. Here we dive deep into the messy, beautiful, and sometimes painful realities of life, business, and relationships. No fluff, no judgment, just real talk, real growth, and real transformation. This is a safe space for anyone, women, men, and all the beauties in between. So, who's ready to raise their standards, heal, and step into their power? Let's learn, grow, and evolve together. Now tune in and let's talk about it. Welcome. It has been a long time coming for this episode, for this podcast, but here we are, finally, March 29th. Coming off a solar eclipse, I am recording my first episode for the podcast. People who follow me on social media, Instagram, and Facebook, they know that I have been talking about this for a very long time. And I am so excited and so happy to finally just dive in and get the ball rolling. So let me give you a little background story on who I am. I am Marissa McDevitt. I am 31 years young. I live in Arizona. I started this podcast because of all the bullshit, drama, trauma, you name it. I just got so fed up with it. And I was like, you know what? I need to start talking about this because I know that in my stories and in my F-ups and my mistakes and my breakthroughs and my greatness and my not so greatness, it's going to be able to help somebody out there. And not only that, this is my therapy to myself. I get to sit at home. I get to be in my comfy clothes and I get to tell and speak my truth. I get to be authentic. I get to be myself. I get to vibe in my highest vibrational frequency through the words that I speak and through the lessons and stories that I have experienced. This is all about my legit life experiences. And it's just a podcast with no judgment. It's a podcast to learn from. And it's a way for all of us to heal, which is exactly what it's called, Heal with MM. We're healing together. MM is Marissa McDevitt. And also MM stands for magnetic mindset. And let's get into that, right? What is magnetic mindset? So magnetic mindset comes from deeply rewiring your subconscious to attract positivity, abundance, and align opportunities. So essentially, you're brainwashing yourself with positivity, but in a way that empowers you. So let me give you an example. Gosh, I've been positively brainwashing myself for years. And it all started with YouTube videos. Going on YouTube videos. Gosh, I used to listen to Ralph Smart, Aaron Dottie, who is currently my life coach as well. I'm in their school, which is so amazing. But backtracking a little bit, this is exactly how the podcast started as well, because I was going through a very, very hard emotional time in a house that I lived with a bunch of roommates. And I made friends with this girl that a mutual friend introduced us, and she seemed really awesome, really great. And she turned out to be a terrible person, inside and out. Terrible, terrible, narcissistic, lying, evil person. I've never met anybody like that before her. So I was just like so taken back. Long story short, because I'll get into this in a whole nother episode. I was driving up to Snowbowl, Arizona. For those of you who don't know Arizona, Snowbowl is a mountain in Flagstaff, Arizona. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from Phoenix. It was getting like 5 feet of snow every week, and I love snowboarding. So I had this 2.5 hours of driving to think. And I was going through such a hard time with this friend because I moved her into the house I was living in, and she turned all my roommates against me, and she was a liar and just an evil person. And I never dealt with anybody like this before. So what I did is I was literally going through, I was dating this guy, kind of. That was not going well either because he was like emotionally not there. And I got this crazy friend of mine that's a lunatic, and I'm just like feeling lost. I don't really have many other friends here. And so I just start going on Spotify, and I'm like, hey, I don't even remember what I typed in, just like self-help podcasts or relationships or something along those lines. And I started binge listening to all these podcast episodes. And then I would come home and I would listen to self-help videos on YouTube. And constantly doing all this is how I rewired my brain and created a magnetic mindset through the traumas and dramas of my life experiences. I internally reached out in desperation of help and guidance, and it led me to creating this podcast, along with creating my name, Healing with MM, Marissa McDevitt, Magnetic Mindset. So let's talk about having a magnetic mindset. How can we do that? One, we're going to reprogram your subconscious with repetition. So your subconscious mind absorbs what you hear and think repetitively. So daily affirmations. This is huge. I used to listen to the same, and I teach my clients this too. We just went through a whole gratitude and affirmation month. But daily affirmations. I am magnetic. I attract success, love, and abundance effortlessly. That's what I mean when I'm saying daily affirmations. Go on YouTube. There's an I am affirmation. I used to listen to it every single morning when I got up and I'm getting ready for work, or I get up and I'm making my tea. I'm not kidding. For 2 years straight, I listened to this. I would sit in the mirror and I would listen to it and I would repeat it to myself in the mirror, just repeating it. And not only that, I started listening to vibrational frequencies, healing frequencies, 432 hertz. These kind of frequencies. I put them on in the background while I'm doing things. I put them on right before bed. I put them on as I'm drinking my tea in the morning. Those are the first steps of creating a magnetic mindset. 2, reframing every thought to a higher frequency. This one is a little more challenging because it takes practice. So, for example, instead of saying, I'm struggling, shift to, I'm learning and expanding. So, when you catch yourself in a negative self-talk, you immediately replace it with an empowering belief. And I go through this all the time. We're humans. We're not perfect. We're going to mess up. And I mean, even at my work environment, I am still serving at a bar 3 times a week, along with I have my healing center here as well. I do Reiki sessions. I'm a Reiki master. I do fitness classes. I do body movement meditation classes. I do workshops, healing parties, all the things. But I am still working at the bar until my finances align. And so I catch everybody talking negative self talk, the customers, the employees. And I show up every day and I say, I am not going to let these negative people bring my vibrational frequency down. I'm going to keep it high. So, what happens is when we're saying, like, oh, this person, just for an example, last night this happened. You know, she came in and she's a coworker and she said, I'm not having a good day. My chakras aren't aligned, because she likes to joke around with me because I'm very spiritual. You're going to know that in this podcast. I talk about the chakras. I talk about angel numbers. I talk about the solar eclipses. I talk about God. I talk about all the things. I talk about it. And right away she said, I only made $35 last night. And I said, okay, well, today's another day for you to make more than $35. So be happy that you have another chance to make more than $35. And she kind of laughed about it and walked away. However, she came back and showed us her checkbook and said, look, this little percentage tip on my, it was like, I don't know, the tip, let's say that the bill was $20. I think the tip was like maybe $2 or something. I don't remember exactly, but she wasn't happy about it. And she was like, I quit, just being very negative. And, I just explained to her, I said, hey, that's better than nothing, because the other day, for the first time in a long time, I served this couple, awesome, beautiful couple. Their energy was great. I was great. Their food came out great. Service was great. The manager even said it was great. And when they left, they wrote on the checkbook $0 for the tip. And I started looking around the table because I'm like, oh my gosh, obviously they left cash. So why wouldn't they leave cash? They were awesome. Their food came out perfect. They said it was great. I felt good about it. They seemed like they were great about it. And I'm looking around, there was nothing. Nothing there. And I just said, wow. And I just sat with myself and I'm like, I talked to my boss a little bit. I'm like, man, I haven't had this happen in a very long time. And my ego's hurt a little bit, but wow, that is just a sign that our tips are not guaranteed. So when I told her that, she gave me the look like, wow, like you got a $0 tip, kind of being sassy, and that's fine. And then we went about our day. And the whole point is, the next day that I came in, I was getting handed money by random customers. I was getting winning tickets. They have like a lottery ticket thing and all the things. I was getting it. And granted, yeah, it was only like maybe $20 of random money being sent to me. But I believe, because I stayed in a higher vibrational frequency and I have a magnetic mindset of positive brainwashing myself, of rewiring, reframing every thought to my higher frequency, I attracted that. So next, flood your mind with positive inputs. So only consuming uplifting content, podcasts, books, and music. Oh my gosh, this is so important. And I learned this. Another motivational speaker that I listened to, they said, oh gosh, what was it? I think, was it 88% of successful people turn their cars into classrooms? Yeah. And at this, like, a couple years ago, not even like a year ago, I had a 1 hour drive to work, one way. And I used to dread it, to be honest with you. I dreaded it. And then I started listening to podcasts and listening to audiobooks and listening to motivational things. And I got so excited to get into my truck and to drive to work and just positive brainwash myself all the way there. And this podcast is going to be one of them. Woo! But the point is only consuming uplifting content. When you're listening to, oh gosh, there's like some heavy metal music out there that's like screamo, or I don't even know what it is these days. But it's just like it doesn't make you feel good after. It makes you feel angry or raged, right? You're going to hold that vibrational frequency. When you're listening to healing house music or something uplifting, you're going to raise your vibration into that sort of frequency. So only consuming uplifting content. Surround yourself with high vibrational people who inspire you and challenge you. Gosh, this is so important. I lived in Wisconsin for 10 years. I love Wisconsin. Probably going back there I'm going back there this summer a few times. My friend is getting married. Woohoo. But let me tell you how much stagnant energy is there. I think it's like a Midwestern thing, or like when people live in, this is just my conspiracy theory. When people live in freezing climates, their brain cells freeze and become stagnant. That's what I always tell people. I moved. I had to get out of there. I cannot do 10 months of winter. It's so true. But even with the new people that I became friends with, if they were just drinking and partying and doing cocaine all the time, I chose to back away from them. And same goes to my close friends. I have really close friends that I hold dearly to my heart, and they're still there. But I barely talk to them anymore. And the reason why is because they're still going to every music festival, which is so awesome. Good for them. They're still going to every show, but they're not going anywhere in life. Does that make sense? What they're doing is they're putting ketamine up their nose, cocaine up their nose, they're drinking alcohol, they're lowering their vibrational frequencies, and they're just partying and they're listening to music and they're being with their friends, and that's great. But to do that for 15, 20 years straight, and then you have nothing to show for it, you don't have a house, you barely have a car that runs, you don't even really have a job, you're just end up selling drugs, or it's like that. To me right now, that isn't the vibrational frequency or friends I want to be around. Right now I'm building my business. Right now I'm building my podcast. I am going fully remote on my work. I am traveling. I am speaking at events. And I have to be in a very high vibrational frequency and energy to be able to do that. So surround yourself with high vibrational people who inspire you and challenge you. And this is huge, and some of you aren't going to like it, but detox from the news, gossip, and low energy conversations. Turn that shit off. Come on, it's 2025. Turn the fucking news off. Like, who is watching that? Okay? Who is doing that still? Let me tell you, my dad still watches it. Bless his heart. And my dad listens to alternative news. And don't get me wrong, I love alternative news. And it's good. It's good to be aware. It's good to acknowledge, but don't sit in it. Because let me tell you what, I watch an hour of alternative news and I got my guns ready. I got my survival knives ready. I got my dog's got a backpack getaway kit. I have a backpack getaway kit. I bought my quad back in 2020 because they shut down everything. And I was like, they are not keeping me inside. I got the dog. I got gas. I was out of there. Why? Because I was so listening to news. And it doesn't matter what the heck you are. Leftist, liberal, rightist, conservative, an alien, a fucking gypsy. I don't care what you are. Get off the news. If it's not positively impacting your life, get off of it. So let me tell you what, I haven't even owned a TV in years. And not only that, if I ever do watch the news, it's like I'm at the gym and I'm working out in the Stairmaster. And because I go to Planet Fitness, they have like TVs all across with the news. And it's actually kind of cool because they have Fox News and then they have CNN and then they have like I don't know, like maybe like a medium or in between station. So it's kind of interesting to watch them, but it does trigger me. It does trigger me in some states. And so I stay away from it. And the gossip. This is very important and it takes practice because I get into it too, especially when I go to work and I'm working in the bar. And oh God, when you work at a bar, if you ever been to a bar, you go to a bar, you work at a bar, it's gossip between coworkers, customers, everybody. Learn to get out of the gossip and walk away and do something else. And let me tell you what, it's taking me years, but I'm finally embodying it. Number 4, embody the energy of what you want. So this is huge for creating a magnetic mindset. Visualizing yourself already living your best life. Feel it deeply. I have been doing that. Every day I wake up and I act like I already have the money in my account. I act like I am already fully remote on my computer. I act like I can travel wherever I want. And let me tell you what, I barely got money for this month's bills. But I know it's not going to be like that forever. Okay, I'm just now starting my businesses and everything. So Rome wasn't built overnight. So visualize yourself already living your best life and feel it deeply. You have to have imagination for this one, you guys. You have to think outside the box. You have to have imagination and you have to have an open mind. Also, practice gratitude daily. Oh, this is huge. I taught my clients this. This is my first month in my course was gratitude, and it will be for my next courses that I am going to launch. Practice gratitude daily. It shifts your energy to abundance. The fastest way to raise your vibrational frequencies is through gratitude, you guys. It is through gratitude. I am grateful for my house. I am grateful for my husband. I am grateful for my dog. I am grateful for clean water. I'm grateful for air I breathe. I'm grateful for the job. I'm grateful for my hands. I'm grateful for my eyes. I'm telling you. Walk, talk, and make decisions as you already have what you desire. So, this is my first podcast episode. I already envision 111 podcast episodes with 111 million views. Okay? That is how you embody the energy of what you want. 5, energetic cleansing and rituals. Meditation, Reiki to clear old programs. Oh, let me tell you what. Meditation is huge. Every single morning I meditate. I put on a healing frequency, a manifestation. I tap in. I do self-Reiki. I go outside. I drink tea. It's essential. And I also do offer distant Reiki and in-person Reiki. So if you're interested, holla. Moving your body. Dancing, yoga, breath work to release stagnant energy. You guys, this is important. Going to the gym, moving your body. You don't have a gym membership? Work out at home. I teach those too. Like, moving your body so you don't get stagnant is so important. I was working out 5 times a week, lifting before Groove Cruise. This is back in January. And after Groove Cruise, I got into school. I had school already. And then my coaches decided to do a 3-week, 4-week program with. So anyways, long story short, I didn't go to a gym for 2 months, you guys. And I just felt like I was stuck. Like I was listening and getting all the knowledge from school, and I was doing all my classes, and I was logging on my coaching hours and doing all the things. But I didn't understand what was going on. My bones and joints were aching. They were aching. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't been to the freaking gym in 2 months. I have to go. So what did I start doing? I tried to go. I had no motivation anymore. Then I would beat myself up about it. Move your body. dancing, you guys. I love to dance. I go to music festivals. I love music festivals. I love dancing. I used to be a go-go dancer, back in the day. um, so what I was doing is turning on loud music. I was dancing to my favorite music artists, you guys. Oh my God. And then stuff started flowing to me again. I was doing yoga, stretching on my achy bones, breath work with my coaches. Oh my gosh, so important. Number 6, take inspired action without fear. Magnetic people don't just think positively, they act on it. Amen. You have to take action, just like me today. I took action. I recorded my intro for the second time. I am making my first episode. You have to envision it, you have to feel it, and you have to take the action to do it. Say yes to opportunities that align, even if it feels scary. I'm going to say that again. Say yes to opportunities that align, even if it feels scary. And show up confidently. Trust the universe is co-creating with you. Show up authentic, vulnerable, and ready to do it for you, you guys. This is so important. I teach my clients this so hard. You aren't doing this for anybody else. The minute that you actually say, you know what, I'm doing this for me, I'm embodying this for me, woo-wee, you will feel the power that you put inside yourself. You'll feel the power that you're radiating to your around you in the universe because you're doing it for you. Your mindset is a garden. Whatever you plant grows. Make sure you're planting thoughts that bring you joy, power, and limitless potential. And that is how you do it. That is how you create a magnetic mindset. And that was fun. I actually really enjoyed talking about that, and I hope this resonates with some, and I'll definitely make some more episodes going deeper on everything as well. But we got a little information on me and how I started this podcast. We understand what healing with MM is. We understand what a magnetic mindset is and how to get a magnetic mindset. And of course, I want to end on a powerful affirmation or mantra. So I want us to say, I am worthy of the highest love, respect, and abundance. Again, I am worthy of the highest love, respect, and abundance. And that is how I'm going to end my first episode, you guys. So if you're loving it so far, please listen to my next one. If this type of podcast will benefit anybody that you know, please send it on over to them. Subscribe, leave a review, share your thoughts. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Marissa McDevitt, or MM Healing Center. I'm on Facebook, MM Healing Center. And yes, this is it. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and have a beautiful day.